Thanks for watching our channel, Legends Leaving. In this memorial video, we made a list of all the great people who died today, August 25th, 2024. These well-known people who made important contributions to their works have died today. They will be missed. We'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up and subscribe our channel. Karel Harmonic, born on October 17, 1947, in Prague, Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic, was a renowned Czech actor and director, celebrated for his versatility and significant contributions to theater, film, and television. Harmonic developed an early passion for acting, leading him to study at the Prague Conservatory, where he honed his craft and prepared for a distinguished career in the performing arts. In the early years of his career, Harmonic became a prominent figure in Czech theater, joining the esteemed drama club Harmonic Club in Prague. His talent for portraying complex characters made him a standout in productions such as Macbeth the Seagull and The Good Soldier's Fetch. His stage presence and deep understanding of his roles garnered him critical acclaim and a devoted following among theatergoers. Harmonic's success in theater transitioned seamlessly to the screen, where he became a familiar face in Czech cinema and television. He starred in numerous films throughout the 1970s and 1980s, with notable roles in movies like Mraku, Podejde my pero, and S tebou mi baví svět, both of which remain beloved classics in Czech culture. His work in television was equally impressive, with appearances in popular series that further solidified his status as one of the most respected actors in the Czech Republic. Beyond acting, Harmonic was also an accomplished director, contributing to the artistic direction of the drama club and later founding the theater Bez Zabradlí, a venue known for its innovative productions and commitment to high-quality performances. Karel Harmonic passed away on August 24, 2024, aged 76 years, leaving behind a legacy of excellence in the arts. His death marked the end of an era for Czech theater and film, with tributes pouring in from colleagues, fans, and cultural institutions who recognized his profound impact on the country's artistic landscape. Harmonic's life and work continue to inspire new generations of actors and directors, ensuring that his influence will be felt for years to come. 4. Betty Halbreich was born in Chicago, Illinois on February 17, 1927. She was introduced to the fashion world from a very young age because she grew up in a wealthy family. Her parents were well known in Chicago society, and they taught her to value style and comfort. Betty went to the most prestigious private schools and was taught how to be a classic lady of her time. But things went in a strange direction when she married her entertainment industry worker husband and moved to New York City. After a rough marriage that ended in divorce, Betty was left to figure out how to live on her own in the busy city. From the 1970s on, Betty Halbreich worked at Bergdorf Goodman, a famously high-end store in New York City. As one of the first personal shoppers, her job started out as a simple way to pass the time. It quickly turned into a new career. Because Betty had a great sense of style and could understand what her clients wanted, she was an important part of Bergdorf Goodman. Over the years, she built a loyal following of celebrities, socialites, and regular people who believed her style advice and liked how she didn't sugarcoat things. Betty was known for being honest and able to make her clients' clothes look better. She didn't just sell clothes, she also helped people and built relationships that went beyond fashion. Giving people confidence and making them feel good in their own skin was more important to her than making sales. Betty had an effect on people outside of Bergdorf Goodman. She became her own style icon and was written about in many magazines and news sites. When it came out in 2014, her autobiography, I'll Drink to That, A Life in Style with a Twist, gave an honest look at her life, work, and the fashion world. It solidified her reputation as a pioneer in personal shopping. Betty Halbreich worked hard well into her old age and became a well-known person in the fashion world. In the 40 years she worked in the business, she dressed thousands of people and left a permanent mark on it. She died on August 24, 2024, when she was 96 years old. Style, power, and toughness are what Betty Halbreich left behind. She made personal shopping a respectable job and gave a lot of people in the fashion world ideas for their own careers. She made fashion better by letting people show who they really are, not just what they wore. People will always remember Betty Halbreich as a leader who lived her own life with style, grace, and a sense of fun. 3. Jody DeAlisander was born on April 29, 1954, in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. This is a town that has produced many NFL players and teachers. Joe was drawn to football from a young age because he grew up in a town that loved it. He played football in high school and quickly became known for how hard he worked and how much he knew about the game. Because he loved sports so much, he went to Western Carolina University and played offensive line. Joe understood that he didn't want to be a player after college. Instead, he wanted to be a coach. Joe started teaching at the college level, where he worked as an offensive line coach for a number of different schools and improved his skills. Young athletes looked up to him because he could help them improve and paid close attention to details. After almost 20 years of college football, Joe made the jump to the NFL in 1995 and became a coach for the San Diego Chargers. He worked for many NFL teams over the years, such as the Arizona Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs. People across the league respected Joe because he was known for being able to turn weak offensive lines into strong united units. In 2017, Jody DeAlisander became the offensive line coach for the Baltimore Ravens. He would stay in that job for a number of years. This man made the Ravens' offensive line one of the strongest in the NFL. They were known for being tough and following the rules. Joe believed that principles, teamwork, and never giving up were the most important things in coaching. He was more than just a coach, he was also a guide to his players and helped them grow on and off the field. People looked up to Joe DeAlisander for both his teaching skills and his good character. The people who knew him said he was humble, worked hard, and never wanted the attention. Every team he led showed how much he cared about his job and his players. Joe made a big difference in football. He helped many players advance in their jobs and made the teams he worked with successful. The late Joe DeAlisander died on August 25, 2024. He was 70 years old. People in the sports world will miss him because he was one of the best offensive line coaches of his time. The many players he taught and the teams he helped win will always remember him. And people will always remember Joe DeAlisander as a teacher who loved football, cared about his players, and made irreversible changes to the sport. 2. Alias was born in Los Angeles, California on March 22, 1922. This was around the time that the American public was becoming more interested in cars. Alex was always interested in cars, even when he was a child and lived in a busy city. He spent a lot of time working on engines and thinking of racing, which showed how much he loved speed and mechanics. Alex learned a lot about cars while working as an aircraft mechanic during World War II. He came home with a strong desire to follow his love for cars. During 1946, he opened the famous SoCal Speed Shop, a company that became linked to the hot rod culture. With Alex's help, the SoCal Speed Shop quickly became a place where car fans could meet and talk. As an expert in custom cars and performance parts, the shop gained a strong following of young riders eager to discover the fastest speeds. Alex's creative ideas and tech know-how helped a lot of racers reach their goals on the track. The SoCal Streamliner, a car that set several speed records at the Bonneville Salt Flats in the early 1950s, was one of his most important works. Alex made a lot of important changes to the world of hot rodding, and many people saw him as a pioneer in the field. In addition to his work at SoCal Speed Shop, Alias did a lot to spread the culture of hot rods through different media. He made movies and wrote a lot about racing, which made the sport more interesting to more people. His love for cars wasn't just about speed, it was also about new ideas, imagination, and getting to know other people. Alex was always ready to share what he knew about cars with young people who were interested in them. He had an effect on more than just the shop floor. He changed the attitude of hot rodding in America for generations. Alias stayed involved in the car business well into his older years. He often went to car shows, races, and business events, and everyone always treated him with respect and admiration. Many awards, including induction into the SEMA Hall of Fame and the Hot Rod Magazine Hall of Fame, were given to him for his services to the world of motorsports. Even though Alex had done a lot, he stayed humble. He often said that his success was due to the help of his family, friends, and the hot rod community as a whole. He was 102 years old when he died on August 24, 2024. For hot rod fans, his death marked the end of an era, but the many cars, stories, and ideas he created will live on. Alex Exsidius will be remembered as a man who loved cars deeply and lived his life with passion and devotion. He was a master mechanic and a high-speed pioneer. He had a huge impact on American car culture, and his name will always be linked to the best years of hot rodding. Mike Stensrud was born on February 19, 1956 in Lake Mills, Iowa. Mike grew up in the middle of the United States in a close-knit farming community that put a high value on hard work and persistence. He would follow these principles all through his life and work. Mike was good at sports since he was young, but football was his true sport. He got a scholarship to play at Iowa State University because he was such a great defensive lineman at Lake Mills High School. There, he became an important part of the Cyclones team. Scouts from the NFL were impressed by how well he played in college. In 1979, the Houston Oilers picked Mike in the second round of the draft. Mike Stensrud played in the NFL for 10 years and for many teams, such as the Edmonton Oilers, the Minnesota Vikings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Washington Redskins. Mike was a reliable player on the field who was respected by both peers and opponents. He was known for being tough and able to do a lot of different things on the defensive line. He was a great addition to every team he played for because he could play more than one spot on the line. But he had a lot of stops and sacks over the course of his career, which helped his team's defenses a lot. Mike went back to his home state of Iowa after he retired from professional football in 1989. He started farming and running different kinds of businesses, but he always stayed connected to the society that helped him his whole life. Mike was still very passionate about football after he stopped playing, and he often shared his experiences and knowledge with young players. People knew him to be kind and giving with their time. He coached aspiring football players and gave speeches at community events. There were some hard times in Mike's life after football. He had many problems in his personal life, such as problems with drinking and the law. But he was also known for being strong and working hard to get through these problems. Mike's story showed how the morals he learned as a child in Iowa helped him keep going. In his neighborhood, he was still looked up to for how hard he worked and how determined he was. He was 68 years old when he died on August 23, 2024. He died at the end of a life marked by hard work, strength, and a strong bond with his roots. Mike left a big mark on the NFL, especially on the teams he played for. People remember him as a tough, dependable player who played with all his heart. People remember him off the field as a man who took on problems head on and never lost sight of the ideals that guided him all his life. What a story. Mike Stensrud had grit, drive, and the spirit of a man who lived his life his own way. The news that legendary singer Gladys Knight is having a serious health problem has shocked her fans and the music business as a whole. She is known as the Empress of Soul, and her powerful singing and classic hits have captivated people for decades. Now, though, there are reports that she is dealing with a major illness, which makes her fans and family very worried. Details about her illness are still being kept secret, but people from all over the world have sent their support and best wishes. Knight's long and successful career has been marked by her resilience and strength, and many people are hoping that she will get through this tough time in her life. The 79-year-old star has always been open about her faith, and her fans are using this strong faith to pray for her strength as she heals. People are also thinking about how much she has meant to music and culture because of her health problems. From her early days with the Pips to her solo success, Knight has left a lasting mark on the music business. She has inspired many artists and left a legacy that will last. As everyone waits for news about her health, they all hope that she will come through this as the strong and lively artist she has always been.